So the Leadership Consortium owes its name and its origin from the fact that a consortium is in essence a grouping and a collective of ideas and thoughts. And it's embedded in the fact that leadership per se is not normally in the hands of one person. It should be a collective, it should involve different perspectives, it should involve a broad spectrum of what is possible from the leadership perspective. The Zenger-Folkman family of colleagues around the world represent a broad group of people who are playing in the leadership space. And our Australian colleagues, Terry Reynolds and Glenn Price, have done a magnificent job in putting together a set of podcasts that address the questions and the recipes within the Zenger-Folkman methodology. These podcasts represent step-by-step, short, bite-sized, normally about 3 to 4 minutes, ideas, concepts, and tips and tricks as to how we can build our extraordinary leadership. So our invitation is to enjoy these podcasts, squeeze as much value as you can out of them, and make it part of building your leadership stepway to extraordinary. Episode 23 in our podcast series talks about the benefit of using what we call a non-linear approach to our leadership development. A radical element of our program focuses on the need to change our mindset as a key ingredient in moving our leadership competency forwards. It may sound contrarian, but our leadership recipe focuses on ignoring certain elements that may be as part of our spectrum of growth, and instead focusing on what we spoke about earlier, leveraging our competency companions to be able to build our leadership quality.
Welcome to the Leadership Digital podcast series with Glenn Price and Terry Reynolds. Warfare through the 1700s to the middle of the 19th century was characterized by two groups of soldiers marching in rows straight towards each other. It wasn't until the American Revolution that soldiers began hiding behind trees and lying on the ground to avoid being easy targets. This was an entirely different type of war, and we propose a similar radical approach to developing your leadership skills. If you were to decide to improve a leadership skill, such as your level of technical expertise, you might examine your current performance and determine a list of actions. Typically, we see things like signing up for a class, or attending a professional workshop, reading technical and professional journals, or the latest books in your professional field, or even broadening your network, asking for coaching or mentoring on a specific topic. It is extremely logical and characteristic of many people's propensity to identify a challenge, put their heads down and run straight at it full force. Our claim is that linear plans work best for people moving from poor performance to good performance. However, moving people from good to great is best accomplished with a non-linear approach. Let's examine what a non-linear path might look like. As we have mentioned previously, certain leadership skills are linked together as what we call competency companions. We propose that the best way to make improvements in one skill is sometimes to make improvements in the competency companion skill, not the targeted skill itself. For example, if you wanted to develop greater technical competence, you could focus directly on improving that skill, but you might have more success with improving your technical competence if you focused on its competency companion, which is interpersonal skills. Robert Kelly found evidence for the usefulness of this non-linear approach in his research on the most productive scientists at Bell Labs. The most competent scientists did not end up being those with the highest IQ or most knowledge. They were the ones who used interpersonal skills to get their work done. They helped their colleagues, showed concern, asked others for ideas, and gave others credit. To benefit from a non-linear leadership development approach, here are your 3 tips. Number 1, change your mindset. The best way to improve in one area may be to ignore it. Instead, you may do better to focus on a related area of improvement. 2, build your awareness of competency companions. You will need to know which skills are interrelated in people's minds as characteristics of effective leaders. To find out more, just simply contact us at Leadership Consulting. And 3, savor the side effects. Developing competency companions can change a person. Just as learning to play golf gives you increased confidence, so strengthening a competency can change your perspective and outlook on life, making you more effective in many areas.
It's a pleasure to be able to share these thoughts and ideas with you and hopefully be part of allowing you to adopt a journey where extraordinary leadership is an opportunity and a growth area for you and your teams.